At this point in time, after all the shenanigans by all of these aforementioned institutions, and I include physicians in this, most Americans now have no respect for physicians because the vast majority of them have gone along with these shenanigans and hiding the truth and pushing the vaccines that are killing and injuring patients, and refusing to tell the truth so they can collect their paychecks.
You're aware of Dr. Casey Means, correct?
Of course.
All right. So, well-respected doctor. Doc, I'll ask you.
I think so. Very controversial.
Controversial. Okay. Let's see if this is controversial, what she says here, or if you agree with her. This is her on with Joe Rogan.
We are getting destroyed, and it's very recent, and it's accelerating. The stats speak for themselves. You know this very well. 74% of Americans are overweight or obese. 50% now of American adults have type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. These were diseases where there was 1% of Americans in 1950 had type 2 diabetes. Now it's 50% of Americans have prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. Alzheimer's dementia are going through the roof. Young adult dementias have increased like 3 times since 2012. So early onset dementias, we're seeing, this 1 in 2 Americans are expected to have cancer in their lifetime now. 1 in 2, and young adult cancers are going up 79% in the last 10 years. We've got, of course, the autism rates are absolutely astronomical. 1 in 36 children has autism now in the United States. That was 1 in 150 in the year 2000. And in California, where I live, it's 1 in 22. 1 in 22 with a lifetime neurodevelopmental disorder. We've got infertility going up 1% per year. 25% of men now under 40 have erectile dysfunction. A quarter of the country. This is fundamentally a metabolic disease. We've got 77% of young Americans can't serve in the military because of obesity or drug abuse. We've got autoimmune diseases. Some studies are saying they're going up 13% per year. It's really unbelievable. And I could go through so many more diseases. Of course.
So, Doc, I don't expect you to fact check her statistics, but I'm pretty amazed she can rattle all those off. Is she wildly wrong on any of this?
I think everything she stated is true, absolutely true. The concerns with Dr. Means is that, number one, she's never seen a patient in clinical practice because she's never been in clinical practice, because she dropped out of her residency for whatever reason before she ever completed her residency. So, that's the concerns that most physicians have, and many of us have, and that's the concerns of why, in my opinion, she was a very, very poor choice for a Surgeon General. Okay. Surgeon General should have been Dr. Kelly Victory.
Well, I agree with you on that one, and I know she was in the running for it. All right, so interesting background of Dr. Means, who's the Surgeon General, but to the overall point that she's making, 1 in 2 people will get cancer. Young adult cancer up 70%. 50% of Americans have either diabetes or precursors to diabetes. This is insane, Doc.
It's horrible, and she's spot on about. You can take this to the next level, which she didn't, but I have, and I'm involved with an independent research which is submitting major federal grantings of grants for our projects. And as we point out in our grants applications, this is a national security threat grant. Because listen, I'm a disabled veteran, and I live amongst the highest population of veterans here in the panhandle of Florida, and conservative veterans, I'll tell you. And do you realize that according to the Pentagon, in 2020, 75% of the current men and women eligible for the military, 18 to 25, are disqualified for medical problems. And that was before the pandemic. There are some models that suggest after the pandemic, and if the trend continues, it could be 90% of Americans are ineligible in that age group for military service by 2030.
Look,
That is a national security threat.
I am very quick to blame Big Pharma, the insurance companies, the hospital. They all certainly play a role in this. But I will also say, as Americans, we've gotten very lazy. And Americans have some personal responsibility in this as well. There's a reason why so many people have diabetes is because obesity plays a role in that as well. I'm looking at you. I don't know. Do you mind if I ask you how old you are?
I'm 73 years old this year, and I'm 6 feet 2 inches and 175 pounds of romping, stomping stainless steel death and destruction.
Well, look, and you got better hair than I do, and I'm 57 years old. So the point is, I am sure that took work, Doc, to be at 74 years old, look the way you do, feel the way you do. It's not just, we can't just blame Big Pharma and the hospital systems. We got to have some personal responsibility in this game.
Amen.
So this product Shield, right? Because cancers are on the rise. I do believe, and I know you agree with me. In fact, you've proven it. You have a book out, and so let me just show people the cover of that. It's called Sacrifice: How the Deadliest Vaccine in History Targeted the Most Vulnerable. And of course, we're talking about the COVID jab here. You've done all the research. I'm sure you agree that jab has driven cancer upwards.